Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are talking about the Bad Batch Season 4 episode. I believe it's called Cornered.
Season 1.
Oh, did I say something
You
else?
said Season 4.
Oh, I meant Episode 4. We're on Episode 4 called Cornered from Season 1 of the Bad Batch. As you can see, we have our guest Tony here with us. Some of you may recognize him from before. He was here for a Mandalorian episode in the past and another video where we talked about Star Wars and our love for it in general. So thank you, Tony, for being here again.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, with the new format, we're gonna kind of go right into it, talk a little bit about the episode itself, and then we'll go from there. So Tony, do you want to go ahead and tell us what happened?
Sure. So the episode kind of starts out the Bad Batch. They're kind of officially on the run from the Empire. The last episode they kind of made their decision, officially or not. But so they're on the run from the Empire, and their ship is kind of damaged, so they needed to find a place to go land for a while, get some repairs and whatnot. And then they find a planet, and then they land. They kind of pay off the mechanic there to get some repairs on their ship, and then they all kind of a few of them, I think, Wrecker and Tech stay behind to fix the ship, and then everyone else kind of goes their separate ways. Some shenanigans happen, and eventually the bounty hunter character from the bounty hunter character from the Mandalorian, that really narrows it down. The one character from the Mandalorian shows up, and is trying to persuade Echo, or not Echo, Omega. For some reason we don't quite know yet why. Trying to kind of take her under her wing and those sorts of things. But eventually, the leader of the Bad Batch finds them and kind of gets Omega back, and shenanigans ensue, and then they finally make it off planet. So I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I believe her name was Fennec or Fennec.
Yeah, that sounds right.
One of the two. Yeah, nice. So yeah, that about wraps up the overview of what happened. So we'll kind of go right into what our favorite parts were. So Sarah, what was your favorite part from the episode?
I would say my favorite part was probably when Echo, I had to think for a second on his name. I always forget his name because he's usually been more minor in the episodes. But he was trying to blend in, so he almost had like a droid costume on, or like a mechanical bounty hunter kind of look. And they were trying to sell this bomb to this merchant just to get some cash. And instead, he wanted to buy the droid, which was really Echo. And I liked when he said, "Not 2,000, I'm worth more than that." So I thought the little back and forth between him and Hunter was pretty cool. I like that.
Nice. Yeah, it was kind of a little comical relief that was going on in the episode. I think my favorite part was the introduction of Fennec. I liked the connection there. Kind of curious to see where that goes, whether she's trying to get Omega for Boba, because maybe he is aware that there's another clone of his father out there, or if I always gotta slow myself down when I say this, Kaminoans, I think that's how you pronounce it. Maybe they want her back too. Maybe she's the project that they're referring to in the previous episode. Not quite sure what's going on there. The other small little thing I liked was seeing the little toy that Omega was playing with in the store, because you can actually buy those at Disney World. So I'm curious to see if they pick one up. They have a wide variety of characters. I think it's called the Toydarian Toy Shop or something, where you can get those. But yeah, they're pretty neat. What's your favorite part, Tony?
My favorite part was I know it's not really production design per se, but like the design of the planet that they were on. It gave me like real like Blade Runner, cyberpunk, like neo noir vibes with lots of like bright neon colors to contrast the kind of darker elements. And that fits because it's kind of a grungy underworld sort of deal. So that was my favorite part, seeing all that stuff. It's fun to watch.
I liked that too. I thought it was nice to be somewhere different other than, complete ship or jungle, because that's pretty much all we've seen so far. So.
Or sand.
Or sand, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the underground of Coruscant a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All the neon lights and stuff.
Yep.
That is our favorite parts, but we haven't had Tony to discuss the previous episodes and his thoughts on the series so far, where he might think it's going. So, Tony, what are your thoughts so far on Bad Batch now that we're 4 episodes and not 4 seasons into it?
Yeah. So, to kind of update, since last time I was on, I have watched all of Rebels and all of Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. So I haven't watched Resistance. I'm not sure how incentivized I am to watch that yet, but it's in my watch list for Disney Plus, so we'll see where it goes. But I have found this show just delightfully entertaining thus far. The animation just keeps getting better with these shows. I love the parts where it's kind of like where they do like the close up over the shoulder shots, and the background kind of has like a blur to it to really like show the subject that's in the frame. And they looks like it, like I said, it just keeps getting better. Like I don't know if I would say lifelike yet, because they still kind of have like a cartoony look. But it's pleasant to see. So I really like that. So I found it very entertaining. I've seen a lot of like reviews and stuff online of people not liking it. I guess I don't know what they're expecting from, like an animated show about Star Wars, but I've really enjoyed it thus far. To kind of go off of what you both have been saying in the past few episodes, I have also enjoyed seeing the transition of the Empire from the Republic to the Empire. That has been really cool to see. I really like the perspective of the Empire telling the citizens that like the war is over and we won and we can protect you, and it's like they're not wrong, but it's also very like textbook dictatorship tactics that they're implementing, using propaganda and all that stuff and bending the truth and things like that. So that has been really cool to see. The Bad Batch, I love when they were introduced in Clone Wars. I loved their episodes. Wrecker, I think, is my favorite. I love Wrecker. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. As far as where it's going, I honestly have no idea. I find it better if I don't think too hard about that stuff, and I just kind of take the episodes as they come.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. So I await every Friday and I just throw it on and watch it and just enjoy it. And I've liked everything I've seen so far.
Nice. Yeah. So a couple of your points, when you're talking about like the visual and the animation and stuff, there's times where if it wasn't the human characters on screen, sometimes I forget it's animation.
Exactly.
I feel like the ones that are more human-like are the ones that look more animated,
mm-hmm.
as opposed to the ones that are like the different Star Wars species.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. They've come a long way. I still remember going to the theater when the original Clone Wars movie came out, and seeing that animation. It was cool, but I didn't think it was quite there yet.
Right.
But where they are now, it's really, really good.
In the first episode, I didn't realize this until like episode 3, but the Padawan at the start of episode 1 was the Jedi in Rebels.
Yeah, it took me a hot minute too, because I could hear it, But
Yeah,
I was like, that voice doesn't match your body.
yeah.
And they kept calling him a different name, and I totally forgot he had a different name.
Yeah, I remember I watched some YouTube videos and like some reviews of it, and they're like, "Oh, there's a big cameo at the beginning. Don't want to spoil it." And I watched it, and I was like, I didn't, I don't. What cameo was there? And then I watched a few other videos breaking it down. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's pretty neat."
Yeah, and another one from the first episode, because I mean, I haven't dissected or went into it looking 100% into it yet. But the Jedi that was on the stretcher and was covered up and then the lightsaber fell out,
Mhm.
I'm wondering if that was the woman we saw in the beginning or if that was somebody else. Um, I'm very curious to know who that was.
Yeah, yeah. I liked your theory in the last episode about cloning the Jedi. It made me really nostalgic and want to play The Force Unleashed again. Um, but yeah, that's a good idea. Also, I know I didn't realize how much into the Empire you were. I didn't realize that you had like a flag in your lawn and whatever. But your boys are committing war crimes, my guy. You need to you need to answer for that. They shot a bunch of innocent civilians, and Rogue One had like labor camps and stuff like that. So you got some splaining to do.
The world needs some order. I don't know.
Oh
We're on
boy.
this planet.
Okay.
We like the other parts besides that, right?
Well, I mean, to be honest, for the original trilogy and moving forward after that, the only people that keep saying we can't give up, we have to keep fighting, we have to keep taking them out is the rebels. The Empire just wants people to knock it off. So for that part of it,
But also to like, submit and be oppressed and all that stuff. But
yeah.
anyway, that's a different video. That's a different
Yeah, that might be a cool video sometime to talk about like uh have people on the show if like yourself, if you are like huge team rebel, we're team empire, that'd be a cool debate to go back and forth.
I'm just anti-oppressive government.
Okay. I can agree to that.
Yeah, yeah. And the rebels are cool, but
They have their moments. I will.
yeah.
When I was growing up, I was all team rebel. I enjoyed Luke's story and everything, but it's something to do with when they say when you grow up, the villains start to make more sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else about this episode? Like I said, I mentioned off camera that there wasn't a whole lot of the Empire being built up in this one. We had a small section where they were talking about the propaganda that Tony brought up. I think Hunter and Omega happened to glance at it as they were walking through the streets. So I think that about wraps it up for this video today. We talked about episode 4 from season 1 of The Bad Batch. We will emphasize that going forward. I believe it was called Cornered. We saw Fennec, which was from The Mandalorian. That was probably one of the bigger parts of the episode. If you haven't already, please turn on notifications. That way you are notified when the next Bad Batch discussion drops. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, drop us a like if you like this video, and drop us a comment letting us know your thoughts from the Bad Batch episode 4. And then before we go, thank you, Tony, for being a part of our episode today. We enjoyed having you on here.
You are most welcome. Thank you for having me on.
For sure. And I'm definitely sure that we'll probably see Tony in the future. So stay tuned for more of those. And then as always, everybody, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.